Why were Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek flying commercial like us? It's not often that the plane ride is the highlight of your vacation, but for vacationers in Mexico this past weekend, that just might be the case, as a few dozen lucky travelers ran into Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek traveling commercial. Though the two actors are both ultra-wealthy, Hayek happens to be married to a billionaire businessman and typically fly private. They were spotted hopping aboard a passenger jet from Mexico City to Veracruz over the weekend, reports Page 6. Coming not so long after the bonanza that was the Bezos wedding, this flying behavior is shockingly and ironically grounded. We're at an interesting crossroads culturally when it comes to expectations for celebrity comportment in things like private jet usage. On the one hand, we're more aware than ever of the environmental cost. So even if someone isn't so out of touch as to flaunt their immense privilege, it can read a bit, let them eat cake, to pollute the earth while the rest of us wait in line at TSA. On the other hand, as we saw with Chappell Roan and others, fan behavior can get out of control and take a real mental toll on celebrities. Remember when a fan shut down a whole road in New Jersey just because Taylor Swift went to a wedding? And you want this girl at the airport? Flying private is luxurious, but for stars of a certain fame level, it's often less about privilege and more a necessity for security reasons. So, what to make of Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek in Mexico, at an airport where presumably they'd be less likely to encounter paparazzi, but probably just as likely to encounter fans, at least of Hayek. Jolie is internationally famous, sure, but Hayek, who is Mexican, I would imagine is the bigger star there. Honestly, it's hard to parse the calculus they might have done to come to the conclusion that they wanted to get on this flight, but it's cool that they did it and seemed to have an okay time. According to the article, they politely declined to take fan pictures while on the plane, and we can only hope that their boundary was respected. The other passengers did get a great story out of it, and that's one fewer private jet's exhaust we have to breathe this week. It's hard not to be invested in this friendship, and by that we mean very, very a lot and so much invested in this friendship, which began on the set of Eternals but really broke through when Hayek convinced Jolie to push Hayek's face into her birthday cake. It's a tradition. Jolie has since written and directed a film, Without Blood, in which Hayek starred, and the pair seem to have found a deeply meaningful connection. What do you mean friendship? Hayek told a People reporter about their relationship in 2024, clarifying that the pair do things together as a family, including hang out sometimes with the kids, but also by ourselves. I always find it super inspiring. A friend was telling me, it's the same life, whether you laugh or cry. And it's nice to have a friend where you can laugh and cry and feel always safe. I was surprised, even though we are very close and stuff, but I was surprised by how warm and generous and kind she was as a director to the actors. She continued of their working relationship on set. I felt like she was my motherly figure because she would come to the set and run it like a family. She was a very efficient mother, but she was also there emotionally every step of the way. Which in its way does answer the question of what on or slightly above Earth these two were doing on a commercial flight. Having a girls' trip, that's what.